Evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of live counter review using technical analysis. So today the flow will be same as per usual webinars. So first up, I'll go through the US economic calendar. Then afterwards, I will talk about the indices and commodities. Then afterwards, I'll go through some of the sectors like the Mag 7, US banks, semicons, as well as EVs. Then last but not least, I'll also talk about counters you all have drop in the Q&A. Yeah, so without further ado, I'll begin. First up, looking at the economic calendar, today there's OPEC monthly report just now at 7 p.m. Afterwards, there's this New York Empire State Manufacturing Index that's in about half an hour's time. Then tomorrow, something to take note will be retail sales data that's at 8:30 p.m. Okay, then followed by industrial production that's at 9:15 p.m. And business inventories at 10 p.m. And that's also with retail inventories. Then going to Wednesday, 1 a.m. we have the Atlanta Fed GDP now. Then there's also API crude oil stock at 4:30 a.m. And Wednesday night, we have building permits, 8:30 p.m. Housing starts as well as jobless claims. And then crude oil inventories at 10:30 p.m. Okay, then going to Thursday. Thursday will be a market holiday for US market. So there will be the market will be closed on Thursday night. Okay, but however, there will be important events still, which is the FOMC. So that's taking place at 2 a.m. And also the usual press conference at 2:30 a.m. for on Thursday. And afterwards, going to Friday, there's a Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index. That's at 8:30 p.m. So the most important one probably is the Fed on Thursday morning. Yeah, that's for to take note for this week in terms of the economic calendar. Okay, next up I'll go through the indices and commodities. So first up is Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin currently looks like a bit range bound. Last week, it was like finding some resistance. 3 days, it couldn't get past this 110,000 level, and then we saw a bit of a pullback take place. So price is now just settling a bit sideways at around 105,000, which was this previous horizontal level over here as well. So I think looks overall since I think end of May, we're still seeing looks like a bit of a sideways pattern now. So the upper end of resistance still above 110k. The lowest support level is at around close to 101k. In between is about 105k. So now just doing a pullback, still finding some support at 105k and just trading sideways. So I think for now, for Bitcoin, I think we could still see this sideways going on. There might be some resistance from the breakdown of last week, Wednesday level. This is around 108.4k. Yeah, to 110k might be some short-term resistance for now. Then for support, if it breach below some of the recent lower weeks around like 104.5, we could see it test 101 to about 103k level. So I think for now, Bitcoin is still pretty much sideways. Yeah. Then next up for Dow Jones, I think last week saw a bit of weakness in terms of Dow Jones. Also it's in the rebound is not as strong as compared to S&P and Nasdaq for Dow Jones. So Dow Jones still finding resistance along this very key level 42.8k tested many times. But still unable to get past. Then Friday we had a gap down over here, and it could be a breakdown of this trendline support over here as well. And in terms of some of the moving averages, price is also currently below this some of the short-term 5, 10, 20 moving averages, which it has traded higher since end of April. So I think if the coming days we still below this some of these these moving averages, we could see some further weakness. So the next key support probably around 41.8k over here at the start of June, this level. And the next one is around 41.3k level. Yeah, so that's the next near-term support. In terms of resistance, short-term resistance likely to be the recent highs where there was a trading range more or less, then price broke down Friday. So resistance probably like 42.6k to about 43k area for now for Dow Jones. Then next one is Nasdaq. Yeah, so for Nasdaq, I think uh it's still a bit still stronger than Dow Jones. So overall, it's still possibly holding this trendline support over here. A bit of a slight pullback on Friday where it broke below this 19.5K support for from Monday to Thursday lah, and also below the 10-day average. And for now, I think it could be still trading mostly in a rising wedge over here lah. Like price action has been just like wedging upwards. So for now, I think in terms of the support, if there's a pullback, it could test this 19.2K level, which was this consolidation resistance previously. Then the next level down was 18.6K. Yeah, so if it does breach Friday's lows of 19.3K, we could see some pullback ahead. Then for now, resistance likely to come from last week's highs, 19.6, 19.8K area. So yeah, so pretty much sideways or downwards, I guess, if it does a breakdown of 19.3K. Next one for S&P. S&P, I think there could be a breakdown of a rising wedge over here on Friday. Also broke down the support around below 6,000 points now lah. So 6,000 to about 6,060 likely to be the short-term resistance. Then it back tested 5,970 level, which was this resistance previously like in May. So if this level, if let's say this week it breaks through this level again, we could see some downside towards the next support zone, maybe like close to 5,850 around there, which previously there was some buying over here previously at the end of May. Yeah, so that's why for the indices, a bit of slight weakness coming in, but still need to see, I think, more follow through lah. So for now, since the futures are a bit still rebounding slightly, so we need to see some follow through. If it break down Friday, then we could see some more weakness coming. If not, probably still a bit sideways for this week. Then next one is gold trending higher after what has happened in terms of the conflict. But in terms of price action, also still maintaining well. So previously broke out of the bullish flag consolidation that retested, finding support around 3,300. And last week also managed to clear this resistance at 3,370 about that. So and then retested this resistance 3,430. So a bit of some resistance holding on to here. So I think we might see just some slight sideways over here because there's some resistance over here. But as long as it maintains above the short-term moving averages, like the 10 MA over here, I think 3,360, this resistance level it managed to break out of. If it continues to hold as support, then that will still be a good sign for price to possibly trend higher. Yeah, then the next target would the previous all-time highs are around 3,500 at the end of April. Yeah, so that's for gold still looking good. Just a little bit more kind of sideways kind of price action. It's not like it is going out very fast like previously. Okay, next one I'll talk about is oil. So oil very volatile. I think it's quite hard to make a guess. But my guess is probably I don't think it will for this I don't think it will cross last Friday's the spike lah. Because actually there was a very large increase in terms of the price since it broke like 65 all the way to 77. So previously, if you look back in the past, 77 was also like a resistance level. 77 to about 81, this area. There will be some big resistance over here. So I think for now, it's just coming off a little bit. I think we could see a retest of the 5 MA over here. So there some temporary support in the very short term will be around $69 perhaps. Then the next support downwards will likely be somewhere close to like 66 around there. So I think for this week, I think we might see some consolidation a bit of a sideways movement take place for oil, perhaps. Yeah. Then next one is I'll talk about is VIX. So VIX, I think still a bit sideways. So I think since if we tested this blue uptrend, our support line just been moving sideways. So price action wise, mostly between 17. Then last week hit 22, then coming off a little bit over here today. So I think for now, need to see whether VIX holds this level, probably around 18 over here. Yeah, some of the short-term moving averages. So previously there was a VIX spike end of May. But then price action wise it trended below the short-term averages afterwards. Then went lower. So for now, I think if we if VIX is to remain elevated, thereafter we need to see whether the price holds this on the short-term MAs over here, like that's around 18 to about 19 area. And if it holds, then we might see. If that happens, then I think we could see some increased volatility again. So that's something I'll be looking out for. So for VIX, probably still quite range for I guess for now. 22 and 25 could still hold as a bit of resistance. So I think maybe just still pretty much sideways. Then next one, last one I'll talk about before I move on to the sectors is copper. So I think for copper, pretty much sideways as well, with quite a lot of resistance above like 4.95 onwards. And yeah, just some support coming in will come in probably close to 4.7. Yeah, so we could see some a bit of range bound kind of price action. Okay, next one I'll talk about is first up is the first sector I'll talk about is the Magnificent 7. So I'll talk about the ETF first, Roundhill Magnificent 7 ETF Max, which kind of shows how the overall sector is doing. So in terms of the ETF, I think generally it's still trending higher within this a bit of a wedge or a channel itself. Yeah, so since it broke out of this downwards resistance line, still holding the retest at 0.7 and higher. A bit of a kind of more of a less a bit of a sideways trending on this kind of wedge formation. So I think still okay for now, unless there's a breakdown below this level, somewhere like $52.50. That's the channel support over here. Then that might be something to think about. But for now, I think still could be still slowly trending up within this rising wedge itself. Yeah, there's the next resistance level for this ETF, maybe somewhere closer to 55 point. Yeah, it's the next level. And previously, there's also quite a lot of resistance upwards because of the consolidation taking place in February before the sell-off in March and April this year. Yeah, so pretty much sideways for now. I'll move on to the individual counters. So first one I'll talk about is Meta. So I think Meta is last week looks like there's some resistance acting around 705 to 710 this area previously, which was a bit of a breakdown over here. Yeah. So you see a bit of a slight pullback in terms of the price. And I think for now it could retest on the supports like 660 to about 680 this area over here. Previously when this was a swing high resistance and price broke out on it, so we could be doing some retest. Overall, the trend still remains pretty strong now. Over here, just a bit of could be doing a bit of a slight pullback. Yeah, then I think for now resistance is 710 could still do like a bit of a sideways trade, sideways consolidation now. And next one I'll talk about is Amazon. For Amazon, I think one of the still doing okay, I guess. Facing the resistance at 220 over here, previous support level breakdown over here, still holding as a bit of resistance, that price doing some pullback. But I think this level somewhere close to like 208, 210, I guess, this area where previously there was a bit of consolidation before price goes high over here. This would likely still hold as some support. Yeah, so probably some sideways as well. Yeah, doing a bit of a pullback over here, then we could see some range consolidation in the near term for Amazon. As long as you still maintain this 206, I guess, this horizontal level, which was like resistance, and now some resistance over here, if here still holds as support, then that should be still okay in the near term. Next one is Apple, which is looking a bit weaker than the rest. So Apple, overall, I think the range is like 193 to about 213. Then recently, I think I saw is starting to consolidate in a bit of a tighter range over here, 200 to 206. But last week, I think from Wednesday, we started to see weakness coming when it breached this $200 level. So I think with that, we could still see some weakness come in for Apple, where it could retest this support level at 190 to 193, this area over here again. Then let's see whether it continues to do a bit of a bounce. But overall, is could be seeing some weakness because looks like this could be a bit of a lower high at 206 as compared to 213. And if it retest this support multiple times, then there increases the chance of a breakdown in future. So overall, Apple, I think one of the weaker names right now in terms of the big tech. So in terms of price action last week, we see weakness from Wednesday onwards. Could see a retest of the 190 to 193 area. Next one is Netflix. Yeah, Netflix, I think overall still a very strong counter in the next 7 in terms of the big tech. So I think just trending along this trend line over here. And I think, in terms of the price action, I think a bit of a slight pullback and continue sideways last week. Probably this 1,180 level should still hold as a bit of support over here previously. And some resistance for now, probably like somewhere 1,230 onwards to about 102,040 this area. So I think overall you might still see some sideways, but as long as 1,180 doesn't break, I think it's still pretty strong for Netflix. Next one is Alphabet. So Alphabet, I think Alphabet, it could be trending upwards in this channel over here. In terms of last week tested somewhat close to the 181 level, where previously was a bit of a small consolidation over here, then breakdown. So it was a bit of a level over here. Yep, and doing some slight pullback now. So I think overall, let's see whether this 172, 173 area, this could hold as a bit of support. If this can rebound off, then I think it could still come back again towards like 180 this level to do a bit of a sideways trading. Yeah. So 172 probably key over here that close to last Friday's lows. If this level breaks down, then we might see a further pullback towards 165 over here, which is another horizontal level as well as the channel support. Yeah. So that's for Alphabet. And last but not least, Microsoft. And so Microsoft remains one of the very strong counters, I think. Over here, just still trending above the previous highs of around 465. And in terms of price action, just still holding above the 5-day and 10-day averages. So I think unless there's a breakdown, I think we should still continue to follow the trend for this and see, I think could still continue to trend higher for Microsoft. So that's it for in terms of the tech counters. Then I'll move on to the banking ones. So first I'll talk about is the XLF, which is the SPDR Financial Sector Fund. So for XLF, I think nothing, for now, nothing much. It's like probably after this rally, it has been pretty much sideways for close to a month, more than a month right now, since middle of May, where price has been just sideways between like 49.60 to 51.50 this year. So pretty much sideways. You could still see some consolidation take place. Unless there's a breakdown below this 49.50, then there could be some downside towards somewhat like 48.70 and maybe 47.50. Yeah, so that's for the XLF, where we could see some pretty much sideways kind of pattern over here. So next one I'll talk about is the big four banks. So first one, JP Morgan. So JP Morgan, we can still see pretty much consolidation right now. Over here, there's still some resistance at 200, close to 269, 270, which is still holding as resistance. And I think for now, some support still around the 20 AM at 265. Below that, there's also some support at 260. So I think for now, maybe still some sideways, unless it can break above 270. Then the next key resistance is probably somewhere like 275 to 270. Yeah, so for JP Morgan, pretty much sideways for now. Next one, Bank of America, I think it could be in a bit of a possible wedge pattern over here. And the weakness where it was this swing high at 44.60 over here. Price did a bit of a gap up above that, but subsequently there's it went below it. So if price cannot get above this 44.70, there could be some further weakness here. If this wedge actually continues to hold, and also at the previous support and resistance area. So for Bank of America, I think if there's a breakdown of this 43.60 level, but then we could see some weakness somewhere towards maybe at 42.50 this level here, if this wedge holds. Then Wells Fargo, I think also some weakness. So over here there was a gap up, I think about close to 2 weeks ago. Then above this 76.50. But however, we see some selling afterwards, and currently is back at this key support at 72. Yeah, so I think this not is like showing a bit of weakness. This could be like a bit of like if I see, it could be like a bit of head and shoulders lah over here. Yeah, so the key level at 72 is very important. This must hold. If not, I think we could see some low. Now we could see some further weakness in terms of price towards like 69 as well as 66 next. Yeah, then for now, probably some resistance will come in around 74.50 this level. Yeah, so I think that's for West Fargo. Looking not as good as the rest, I guess, in terms of the price action. Then for Citigroup, I think for now, it's still looking okay. It's one of the stronger ones coupled with JP Morgan. So last week was still maintaining the highs, just a bit of pullback on Friday, as with most of the broad market. And we tested this $76 level. So I think if this holds as support, which is also around the 20-day, I mean, we'll see some rebound over here. There, but expect some resistance to come in still close to $80, which $80 level. Yeah, so I think maybe some sideways, maybe 676 to 80, perhaps, if $76 holds. Yeah, so that's it for the banks. I think that I saw a question, someone asked Surendran, very good question in the chat. So his question is, good day, how can we screen stocks using chart pattern? What is the best app, web or app? So for me, I think I would recommend this website called FinViz over here, FINVIZ. Yeah, and you can just type finviz.com. So if you are looking for a screener, so this is the landing page, the home page. So it will show you the indices, the intraday trends, and then in terms of the market breadth, like what's the percentage of stocks above or below some of the key moving averages are. Which actually shows how the market is performing, and then some of the top gains and losers, and then this is the heat map for the different sectors. So at one glance you can look. So in terms of screener, you can actually click into this screener tab over here, and if you are looking at most of the time, what I usually look at is the top actives. So I will select most active. But if you are looking for, let's say, technical patterns that actually have a lot of stuff over here, like for example, support resistance, if you want a wedge or channels or double tops, all these, they also have over here. And then you can further filter it down based on like market cap, what's market cap, etc. So you can actually play around with this website if you're interested in the screener. So that will be something I would recommend based on what I use. Yeah. So thanks for the question. I'll move on with the the rest of the sector. So next one is the semicons. So Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. Mhm. Yeah, so first this one is the semicon index stocks. So I think for now still trending pretty well. I think yeah, because of the breakout of like 4,000 sorry 5,000 over here, and just creating higher highs and trending along this upward trend line. So unless this is breach, I think should be still okay. Yeah. And for now, there should be quite a strong resistance above 5,300. So previously we look over here back August to February this year, above 5,300 to 5,500. This was a very strong resistance. So most likely this will still carry on over here. Lah. So for now, there's some slight pullback from 5,300, but I think support could still be around like 5,000, this key level over here. Yeah. So maybe still some sideways could rebound from this trend line support if it still holds this upwards trend over here. So that's it for the semicon sector. Moving on to the individual counters. First one, Nvidia. So Nvidia, I think still pretty sideways over here. So the resistance at 144 previously, I think here is holding for a while. Next one above that is 104 around 149 as well as 150, 100 close to 153. So for now, pretty sideways. I think yeah, very very sideways. So for now, what we're looking at is if you can break out of this consolidation 145, then it could still trend higher towards the two resistance mentioned earlier. But if there's a breakdown below Friday lows like 140, right, then that it could also mean a breakdown of this possible channel that it could be trading in. So that could mean some downside towards like 136 about there. So I think still very even right now. It's a bit of a range bound recently. Then we need to see what's the next move for Nvidia. Next one is AMD. So AMD, I think yeah, another test is moving quite sideways recently. So another test of 122 day swing high and a bit of a pullback. But it's holding, it looks like for now it's holding 114 this 114, 115 this horizontal level over here. Yeah, there could be yeah, some trend line support over here as well. So, yeah, so for now, if for now pre-market there looks to be some gap up. So if you continue, if it, as long as it holds this 115, I guess it could still continue this upwards move lah. With some resistance still at 123, then breakout of that will bring it somewhere to like 130 next as the next key resistance. So yeah, that's for AMD. Then next one, TSM. Yeah, TSM still one of the very strong counters in terms of the semicon sector. So doing some slight round consolidation at this previous resistance at 211. Then the next resistance upwards will be somewhere like 220 around. Yeah, so this one's still trending above the 10-day moving average. So still very strong. Short-term support will probably be, if there's a pullback, short-term support will be like 205, 206. I think this one will still most likely continue to outperform given the strong trend we are seeing. Yeah, even stronger than Nvidia AMD. So if there's a break above 216, we could see go towards like 220 next. The next one is ASML. So for ASML, I think still holding resistance 775 level over here. Then I think yeah, probably is a bit of a range bound in the short term, I guess. If still 775 still holds at some resistance, then I think we could see some pullback towards like 750. There's a level of support over here. The next one is around this 722 around here. Yeah, so we could see some range bound trading over here. Then for Marvel, Yeah, so this Marvel just looking better after the results. So it's just previously was a range here 60 to 67, and there was a break above that. Price is still holding above 67, which is a good sign. So um if this continues to hold, then I think possibly for a further continue to rebound towards maybe the next level at 73 to 75 around here, which previously was like the levels in March this year following an earnings gap down. Yeah. So as long as 767 still holding, then I think there could be still a chance for further rebound towards the levels mentioned earlier. Okay, next one, Micron. Micron, I think is one in terms of price action, one of the strongest. I was expecting some resistance at 110 to 113, but I think it's very strong. Just managed to uh just go past that. So I think with that, still very strong price action. We could see if it can hold this 110 to 113, right, which was previously a very strong range resistance. The next key level could be hitting is like 120, 121. Yeah. Then after that, probably will be like 125 to 130 next. Yeah. So for Micron, I think we're still seeing very strong price action. Yeah, where price is still holding the 5-day MA level. Then I'll talk about the last two, Broadcom as well as Intel. So for Broadcom, I think after the earnings, a bit of weakness. So it looks like after earnings, there was a breakdown of this upward support line over here. Also because this was like possibly at the previous resistance, 200, close to 250 over here. Yeah, then there will be a bit of a bounce, and 257 close to this gap. There was a bit of, looks like there's some possible resistance based on Friday coming down. So if this week still can't get above this 258 level, then we could see still continues to see some weakness for Broadcom, where it could test the support level over here, like 235 to 242 area over here. It might just do some sideways in the near term first. Then last one, I'll talk about is Intel. So for Intel, I think very sideways. Whenever it gets past 2150, there tends to be some resistance that comes in. So I would think for now, the overall range is probably respecting it's like close to 19 to 2150 over here. So I think we could see price come back down maybe as they continue to trade this range. Okay, then next one I'll talk about some of the EV names, Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla after what happened, the drama, then tested the $290 level. We've seen a rebound. Then towards this 330 level, some pullback. But looks like the price action on Friday still afterwards managed to hold as a bit of consolidation still. So it's just the range now 315 to 332. So I think if this week still can break above 332, then we could see it test somewhat like 350 to 360 this area again. Yeah. So for now, it's a bit of some resistance holding at 332 for about 3 days. If there's a breakthrough, then I think it could come back again to some of the 350 to 360 level again. Next one, Xpeng, generally nothing much, very sideways. So there was a break of $19 over here. Then I think we could see some the next support levels being tested probably at 1750 perhaps. Yeah, then somewhere like 1650. So generally still very range bound and continue on some weakness since pullback from March. Okay, then next one, Rivian also still see also for now weakness since the double top 1660 price facing some resistance from the 10 MA for now. So short term moving average just holding as resistance. Then for now, some support level that could hold maybe it's like 12.90, $13 over here. Yeah, then next one is around $12, 10 cents around here. Yeah, so I think we could still see some weakness for now first. And last one I'll talk about is new. Yeah, so for new, I think also still looking rather still weak for now, as the swing low support 380 is still holding its resistance. So for now, I think still probably can range between like 330 to 380 right now first. Yeah, so that's it for the different sectors and the counters. So then I will go through the counters you have in the trading. So we'll start with high BY, your Honda C limited cadence and MP. Yeah, so for C limited, in terms of what we're seeing in terms of the chart, usually there was a range over here, but don't really like this. After the gap up over here, tested 165 could then didn't hold as support. Then there's also like bearish divergence in MACD. Then afterwards, you see weakness continue on where you book the supports as well. This 158 could become a resistance. The 5-day MA over here, 158 to 162 could be the short-term resistance over here. Then I think it could continue a bit of weakness towards like maybe 140, 148 over here again. Yeah, so that's for C limited. I think seeing some of the bullish momentum come off recently. Then next one is Cadence Design System. So for Cadence, I think yeah, after the sell down over here, then we tested 287 horizontal support level rebound, but this previous support 310 holding as some resistance. And seeing a bit of a step pullback, but still holding the 10 MA over here. I think if we see this level 299 being breached, I think we could see some lower levels again, like somewhere to retest this recent lows, 200, 293 about there, and lower. Yeah, so for now it's consolidating sideways, still holding a bit of there, but if there's a breakdown, then could see a resumption of the weakness downwards. And last one, MP materials. Yeah, for MP materials, I think this one is actually pretty strong. Recently, there's also increasing volume and nice momentum upwards. Yeah, so I think also cleared this 2960 resistance, nice close on Friday as well. So it could continue the momentum for now. I think it's very dependent on momentum. Uh, the next level could be somewhere like 31, 3180 about here. There's some resistance, could be still over here from the past. Yeah, then the next, after, if we manage to clear this 31 70 about there, then possibly it could go towards the next key resistance like 30, somewhere like 34 to 36 area. Yeah, that will be the next resistance area. As for MP materials, I think yeah, very volatile counter. As long as it continue to, for now, I will think as long as it continue to remain above the breakout level over here, like above this 29, then I think it could still continue the move outwards. Okay, hi Sharon, good evening. Your question is two support and resistance for Dell, Micron, Marvell, and Meta. So for Dell, looks really sideways right now. So some support could be this 108, 109. Then the next lower support, if it breaks down this trading range, be like close to this 100 to 101 level. Then resistance will be for now 100, this range on 115, 116. And above that will be 120, 121. Micron next resistance is perhaps 120, Yeah. Then maybe 100 somewhere like 100 120 uh 126, 127 if it closes all this gap. Then for current support will be the two levels were 110, 113, which was prior resistances. Marvel. For Marvel, next resistance will be somewhere like here 73. The next one maybe 78. And support will be 67 and maybe 63 next for the short term. And Meta. Okay, so for Meta, next resistance probably still the recent high, maybe 710. Next one, maybe 740. Supports will be 660 around here. And also maybe 645. Okay. This one is United Health, Celsius, TLT, Adobe. Yeah, for United Health, I think also at a technical buy on this, I think it's looking better lah. So since the lows over here, price consolidate very long. And what I like recently is that uh there was quite a lot of resistance over here. If you look this part, like 305, 306. But this day, I think was pretty nice breakout of a downwards resistance line and whole price holding above some of the short-term moving averages. And yeah, in terms of the weekly as well, what I've seen is that it was also the first close above the 5 MA level. So previously the sharp sell off over here, then price sideways and first close above 5 MA. So hopefully you can do some rebound towards some closer to a retest of the 10 MA on the weekly. And then perhaps you could see some further rebound. For United Health, I think as long as you can maintain like this 303 level, this which was previously some selling intraday highs, then that would be good to maybe try to retest like next one 322 and 300 for somewhere like 340 about there next. The next one is Celsius. Celsius, okay, luckily it's still holding well. Like 39, this range breakout still holding this a bit just pulling back slightly. So holding at the 10 MA over here around $40.80. Today looks like there's some gap up. So I think still looking pretty good as long as overall 39 is this breakout level still holding. Then the short term wise, some resistance is like 44.50. Then perhaps next one is like 48.50 next one. Yeah, based on some levels here, July, August last year. Yeah. So I think still trending okay for now. Next one, TLT. I think TLT just pretty sideways recently still. The 87 level still holding its resistance over here. Yeah, so really need to see a breakout of 87, then perhaps you will see some rebound towards like 88, 88.50 is another resistance. Then somewhere closer to 90 is also another resistance. Yeah, so for now, just pretty sideways right now. In terms of, if you look at the bond yields, in terms of the longer term bond yields, also quite sideways right now. That's kind of explains why KLT is pretty sideways as well. So in terms of, if you look at the 20-year bond yield, just trading between like 4 point, around 4.84 to like 5%. Yeah. Okay, then next one, Adobe. So Adobe, prior to the earnings was holding support 400, trading sideways 400 to 422. Then after the earnings was there was a gap down and looks like some indecision over here. So I think if with this current weakness, we could possibly see a retest of this support 380. Yeah, 380 over here. Then for now, short-term reasons will be above 400. So I think we could still see some maybe sideways trading, perhaps in a lower range for now. As for Adobe, if 380 holds, then I think that would be still not too bad. Given that overall it has been a downtrend. Yeah. Next one, Lam Research. Lam Research, McDonald's, CMG, and Face. Lam Research. Yeah, Lam Research over here break out of the $86 level, then we tested the resistance at 91.60. So as long as price can hold this, continue to still now looking good, still holding the short-term moving ranges like above 86 to 87. If that can still hold, then if it breaks above 92 again, then I think we could see some upside towards the next key resistance in the past, like somewhere 97 to 99 over here. Yeah. So I think Lam Research for now still looking okay. Okay, next one is McDonald's. McDonald's pretty much sideways. Yeah, so testing just rebounding with like 297, which was a bit of a support over here. I think for now, since the breakdown of 308 as well as 304 over here, this 304, 305 could be a short-term resistance, followed by this 308, 309. Yeah, could be just trading sideways over here right now. Then there's also the next support level probably at 290. So overall, I think just a very sideways counter over here since February. And next one is Chipotle Mexican Grill. Chipotle also very sideways right now. Price trading downwards, then turning sideways. Yeah. So for now, I will still think it's a bit of a range. Still resistance above this 52.30 level over here, and support will come in 48 to 49. So pretty much, I guess, still range bound. And next one, Enphase. Enphase overall is a downtrend counter. Recently, a bit of a some rebound coming in to test this previous support around 45. So over here, I think could be a bit of a short-term rebound to continue as long as it holds some of these like support, the resistance and support level. So this needs to hold like somewhere like 43, I guess, over here to continue some rebound. Could face some resistance next up for this like somewhere like 48 to 50 area over here. Yeah, and there could be some downwards resistance line over here as well, like somewhere at 50. So I guess it's a bit of a rebound, but very short. Could be like a bit of a dead cat bounce lah. As long as 43 is still holding, this rebound could still continue, but expect some resistance in 48 to 50 as well. Next one, AMET, Mastercard, EZPW. So for applied materials, okay, the test of 175 over here. Yeah, we tested this swing over here. Then some slight pullback on Friday. So over here, I think still looking okay as long as it remains above 165 over here, this horizontal breakout level. Then could do a bit of a sideways, but if it breaks this resistance 166, it could go towards the next key resistance somewhere like 183 over here. This level next. Yeah, overall, still, I think still okay lah. Still, since it cleared the previous resistance 154 over here, retest then now rebound up. Then if you can hold a bit of a higher low consolidation or breakout afterwards, then it still looks okay. Next one, Mastercard. Okay, so Mastercard, I think for now, there could be some bearish divergence. I was looking at it also. So the over here testing the 588. So this could be like a trading range, 558 to 588. Friday, there was some selling with increased volume as well and gap down. So for now, it could still hold a support like this 558 support. But I think subsequently, if we breach again, then we could see some weakness over here. So for now, there could be some resistance from like 572 to 580 in the short term. And if it does breach 558 again downwards, then the next support levels will be somewhere like 500, 535 to 540 around there. Yeah, so that's for Mastercard. Still in a bit of range, but I think need to monitor if there's a follow through and stuff. Next one, EZ Corp. EZ Corp, I think since the top over here, just looks pretty sideways in the near term over here. There is still some resistance at around close to 14 and quite likely to come back down to test this 12.95 again because it looks like couldn't hold the short term moving average supports. I think it's overall seems still trending downwards. Yeah, so could test this support over here again. Then then maybe just sideways afterwards. If there's a breakdown of this trend of 5, then we could see some continued weakness towards somewhere closer to like 1240s. Next one is Okta. Okay, since I think the earnings step down over here, looks like it's continuing on the weakness, trending sideways initially and then finding resistance from the 10MA over here and continue to break below this 103 where continue to pull back. So I think we could still see some weakness over here. I think 95 will be a gap fill over here. That's the somewhere over here it could do some rebound, but likely to still remain weak, I guess. I think 9,900, this will be like the short-term resistance. Better support, if it does reach there, will be somewhere like this 87.91 area. Previously, the price rebounded quite a bit from this area again. So we'll see whether it can, if it does test this level, there could be some stronger rebound from this area. Okay, next one is United Natural Foods. Okay, for this, yeah, looks pretty weak for now. I think there's also slower earnings that continued. There was a break below this 23.50 level and also below this $22 level as well. So this continues to hold below these key levels, we could see some continued pullback towards the previous range support over here, somewhere like $19 to 19.70. Yeah. So that's for United Natural Foods. And next, I'll talk about Coke and Lockheed Martin. Yeah. So for Coke, yeah. So for Coke, I think nothing much. Just it's just in the short term, it's been trading between like $70 about 72. So if there's a, I think that could still continue for a while. If there's a break over 72, then we could see a test of this resistance code 73.50. Then we break down below 60, 70 could bring somewhere to 68. And overall, it will be a very range bound kind of counter. So yeah, I think for now, still in this trading range. And next one, Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, I think it was previously trending downwards. It's been sideways for quite some time, and generally being like 440 to 480. So, but tested the resistance multiple times. I think, um, yeah, and then these 2 days has been quite strong because of the war sentiment. I guess, if let's say can hold a bit of a higher low, if preferably at moving averages, let's say like 470s, uh, then I think the next time if it breaks like 486, then there could be a chance to test the higher levels like 500 and above over here, since it has been consolidating for quite a while. Yeah, but for now today, there's a bit of a pre-market gap down from what it looks currently. So I think we really need to see another break of this 486, then we could see it try to break out this range over here. Yeah, that's what I think for Lockheed Martin. Okay, hi James, your counter is SAP GRYCEY. Okay, for SAP, I think it's like some weakness, a bit of a bearish divergence, and price failed to hold this $300 level. And so I think in the short term, also trading below some of the moving averages. So we could see it's currently holding at support level 293 over here. But I think the 300 could be a short-term resistance given the kind of price action recently. There's some weakness. If it breaks 293 again, then we could see test the next support like 287 next over here. Yeah. Next one, GE Aerospace. Yeah, GE Aerospace, I think previously was trending quite smoothly over here, but there was this looks like this could be the end of the short-term strength because there was a sell down below the moving averages, and then currently is below the short-term MAs as well. With this way was also increased volume. So currently retesting this 235, there was a bit of resistance previously. So here there could be a bit of a bounce, but I think in the short term wise, somewhere like 243 around here, this area could be a bit of resistance. Yeah, where it could possibly do a lower high. Then, if it does breach 233 again, then we could slightly see some further weakness down there. Yeah, the next support maybe somewhere like 220 to 223. Next one, Rolls-Royce. Yeah, so for Rolls-Royce, I think it's still okay. Since the breakout of this 1070 price trending upwards smoothly, probably looks like a bit of a range consolidation like 1160 to 1230. Yeah, so I think could be probably sideways, moving sideways right now first. Yeah. As long as 1160 doesn't break down, then I think should be still okay in terms of the short-term trend. Okay, next one is on Boeing. Yeah, for Boeing, yeah. So uh mhm, yeah. So what happened was unfortunate and yeah, price kept down below the 208 level and test now it's holding at this support level of 200. So still holding there. Short term wise, I think will be still some weakness now because of the what happened and sentiment wise, 207. If it does test 200, 209, this level could be some resistance. Then if you breach, if there's a break below like Friday's lows, then we could see further weakness towards like 189 perhaps. Previously, this level was quite a strong resistance. So I think this will be, if price actually does reach this area, then it could be a good support for a bounce now, if it does reach over there. The next one is Palantir. Yep, so for Palantir, I think still very strong kind of price action. Yep, so it looks like on Wednesday, there's a breakout of this trade this range between 120 to 133. So I think as long as it maintains this breakout should be still fine. And Friday also we tested the some resistance at 140. And today pre-market it's currently around there. So I think could be still some strength we see. Yeah, since it's also at the all-time highs. Yeah. So I think overall as long 133 still maintaining price is still maintaining above 133, I think should be still fine in the short term. Next one, Novo Nordisk. And Novo Nordisk looks like, excuse me, so it looks like it's entered into this previous previous strong support level. Afterwards it's breakdown. So over here 77 to about 82 could be a bit of some resistance over here in the short term. Yeah, so I think we could see some sideways consolidation perhaps. Yeah. But I think short-term moving areas could still hold with some support. So for now, maybe it could do some consolidation between like 76 to this 81 area. Okay, next one, Hershey. Yeah, so for Hershey's, I think it's pretty range bound recently. Uh, yeah, but there could be some there could be some chance it could move higher because could be this could be like a bear trap below 159 over here, when price recovered and never looked back below this level. So Still some resistance holding at least 171 range resistance, but if let's say price clears again, I think there could be a chance that it goes towards like goes higher towards 180 next year. The next one is on gap. Yeah, so for gap after the earnings gap down and yeah, seeing weakness around the 5 and 10 MA retest over here. And I think we could see the weakness continue in the short term. No bullish signs yet. Yeah, so the next key support could be somewhere like 1980 maybe. And next one is like around 1880. Yeah, so I think we could still see price continue some weakness in the short term first. The next one, GE Healthcare and Carrier Global. Yeah, for GE Healthcare, I think it's looking better. So managed to finally break out of this downwards resistance line. And price action wise, this previous resistance 70 is holding as support. And yeah, so I think for now, as long as this 70, 71 level here holds as support and yeah, it could possibly do a further rebound also. Because yeah, here when there's a bullish candle, there was also be a volume spike above the resistance and pulling back now. Yeah, so this if this holds as support, there could be some further rebound towards like next one 76, 77 area be the next resistance. Then like next one is around 80. The next one, Carrier Global. I think moving sideways right now. You have so some resistance for now, like 72, 50 about there, and support is holding like 69.50. So I think pretty sideways for now first. Yeah, probably quite sideways. Below 69.50, then there's also some support maybe at around 67.80. Yeah. Okay, next one is on Teladoc and GameStop. For Teladoc, I think nothing much has changed, I guess. Still range bound like 660 to 760, 770. Yeah. But if it breaks below 660, then we can expect some continued weakness around this one. And for GameStop, yeah, for GameStop, I think yeah, after the earnings, there was a big gap down over here, back towards this. There's some support over here previously, this 2150, which has been a bit of a test. So I think for now, maybe near term wise could be some sideways. Below 2150, next one is like $19.30. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, over here could be something like this. This over here after the earnings at time was get down selling, then it managed to do some sideways lah. First, yeah. So I think this is like the best case scenario right now first. Yeah. So that's for GameStop. We could do some consolidation. These are some of the supports. Next one is SoFi. Yeah, so SoFi also had a technical buy last week. So for SoFi, I think the price action looks good. Previously this $14.30 was a support. Then now going to resistance, but higher lows along the way and multiple tests of resistance. So I think as long as can hold this upper support line, as long as above like 1360 onwards, then I think if it breaks above this 1450, there could be a trend higher towards like the next key resistance somewhere like 1660 that hopefully in the future. Yeah, so I think still looking okay for now. Possibly in this ascending triangle. Serve robotics. For serve robotics, moving sideways, but it's starting to see excuse me, some weakness where there's a breach of this 1140 support level. And also, yeah, looks like whenever there's a bit of a spike, then afterwards it's followed down quite fast over here. Yeah, so yeah, I think we could see some weakness in the near term, maybe towards to test like 960, maybe the next support level over here for serve robotics. And for silo tech, I think not sure whether I can do a good TA on this, but this one really very low volume, like just few thousands. And you kind of see the candlesticks over here. It's quite irregular. So sorry, in general, maybe like 450 to $5.30 low. Yeah, looks like it for for that right now. The next one is on Coinbase. For Coinbase, I would think for now it's probably just it looks like it's still moving sideways. I guess since after the news that was included in S&P, then it's just moving quite sideways. So I think some supports probably 230, 240 over here. Then a bit of resistance like 255 to 265 over here. So quite range bound. Yeah, as long as it still holds above this the opening price of this gap up over here, then I think could be still consolidating sideways. For MSTR also consolidating sideways for now, but there's still a bit of weakness now. So this previous support 397 still holding as resistance, and I think just moving sideways 365 to like 395 for now first. Yeah, so could still see some sideways. Below 360, the next key support like is probably around 345 for MSTR. So for now, maybe consolidation sideways first. Okay, I'll take a few more questions before I end today's session. Next one is on Mirror Holdings. I think it's pretty still sideways, but okay in the sense that it's still holding like this 14 $50 resistance, still holding support. So I think here still holding not too bad as support still okay, but probably still sideways lah. Between this 1450 to 1660. You need to break 1660, then can see next one is like 1880 is the next level. Next one, Riot platforms. And some pullback after hitting the previous support at 1080, so some pullback. I think could be finding some support from this recent resistance like at around like maybe 9 to 950 area. Yeah. If it just retest, this could be some support for some bounce and maybe it could just sideways again. And BTBT, I think BTBT also just sideways right now, some resistance like 270 about there. Also based on like some upper weeks previously. Of 270 is the next reason, probably around 290 around there. So I think we could see some sideways as well with support like maybe 234 right here. And the last one is Hive. Yeah, so Hive Digital Tech. Also just moving sideways now. Resistance holding is about 180, then for now, current resistance maybe 215. So just sideways. Above 215, the next key resistance probably like there's 230, 250, and 270. Yeah. So I think yeah, that's all for today's session. Sorry, unable to take all the questions in view of time limitations, but I'll just stop sharing my screen right now. But feel free, you can post your questions in the. Let me just uh share the survey. Yeah, so I've shared the links, some of the links in the chat. So feel free to fill out the survey form. If you have any feedback about today's session on how I can improve your experience in the future. Also, feel free to join the our Poem 3 community if you haven't. If you're new, you can feel free to download using this link over here. Yeah, and you can actually ask some of the questions. If I haven't answered your question today, you can feel free to ask over there. I'll answer it. And also, if you're new, feel free to join at Poems DA, our Telegram group. You can also ask your questions over there, and I'll do my best to try to reply you ASAP. Yeah, so that's all for today's session. Sorry, I'm really sorry I'm able to take all the questions, but I really thank all of you for your kind attendance and also asking questions. Yeah, so that's all for today. I hope you all have a good trading week ahead. So just take note, Thursday there's FOMC, also US market holiday, and hope to see you all again in next session. Have a good trading week ahead and take care, everyone. Bye bye.